Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Window Shopping. My name is Stephen Meade. I'm the managing broker here at Domicile real estate for people who love houses, and we love architectural homes, and hopefully so do you too if you're watching these videos. So we haven't done one of these kind of more attainable houses for a while. And, what struck me about the house that we're featuring this week is this really is, in a lot of ways, sort of the California dream that is no longer. And yet, here is an example available at a price that I don't want to use the term affordable because I don't think it is affordable. However, I will say that at its present list price, you could buy this home with 5% down. So attainable, I think, is the word that we're going to use. And, this is a type of house that is not being built anymore, not just because of the architectural style, but because of the lot and because of the land arrangement. It just does not make any economic sense to build homes like these anymore. So, in a way, this is kind of that, attainable dream that I think a lot of people feel like maybe they were priced out of and maybe that they didn't have a chance to get. So, let's go ahead and get started. I'm super excited to show you this one. It is 15825 E Soneto Drive in Whittier, California. This is in a part of Whittier, north of Whittier Boulevard, commonly called Friendly Hills. And these homes tend to be custom built homes frequently, and they're on larger lots. And, historically, when these homes were built, so this one was built in 1954, most of these homes were built between 1950 and 1970. And the people who built these homes typically were people who owned companies, right? It was a very entrepreneurial neighborhood where the owner of like a stamping factory in Santa Fe Springs might have built a house in Friendly Hills here in Whittier. And one of the cool things about it is there's a sense of creativity to these houses that really you just didn't really see in a lot of other areas. And I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get started. This house was built in the 50s. It's 1,800 square feet, three bedrooms, three full baths. That might not seem like a terribly large house, but you have to remember in the mid 1950s, the average size home in Southern California was like 1,200 square feet. So this would have been 50% larger than the average home. Also, to have three bathrooms is pretty crazy. And then again, I think I mentioned this is on a larger lot. It is just under 11,000 square feet. So that's about double the size of a standard kind of tract home lot in the 1950s. So everything about this house is extra. Now, this one is not our listing. It's listed by Tony Perez of Equity Smart Real Estate Services. But if you would like to take a look at it, and honestly, we'd love to show it to you. This is one that I personally really want to get inside and take a look at. Definitely hit us up. We can definitely make that happen. So, one of the things you get with these larger lot sizes is the homes are set back from the street. And today, especially with new construction, there's just not enough space to do that, right? That's considered a waste. Here, you have this big front yard, but you can actually do a lot with this because it's a gentle slope up from the street. Even when you're looking at this house, you've got this kind of cool front porch area. I think they're underutilizing this house. And by the way, I didn't mention the price. This home is listed at $1,099,000. So it is just under $1.1 million. It's not cheap, but like I said, I would consider this attainable. Why is this attainable? Well, I think it's because this home needs some help stylistically. It's clearly well maintained, right? It doesn't look like the paint is terribly old, but there's a lot of things in this house that just maybe aren't quite optimized. And there's really some cool design elements here. Like I like this front porch idea. I don't think they're using it right. You've got these buttresses, and then you've even got the way the fireplace sticks out. So that breaks up this front facade. I think there's a lot you could do with that. And they really just don't do that on this house. Here's kind of the overhead view. One of the other things you'll notice about this house is I want you to look because you can see this easily here. Look at the hedge that goes all the way around this backyard. This is a neighborhood where you actually get some privacy. And again, that's another one of those kind of like, long lost California dream, right? Is not feeling like you're on top of your neighbors. Excuse me. And then we've got this beautiful backyard space, right? And you've got a little bit of a terraced hillside to give you a nice buffer. So, I mean, really, this is one of those spaces that if you want to have a staycation, and I know there's all these terms that realtors love to use, but the fact is, when you're spending this kind of money, what most of our clients want is they want a feeling of privacy and a sanctuary to come home to. And I think that's really what a lot in a backyard like this provides for you. So you've got a layering of plants. You don't feel like you're on top of everybody. Here we've got this cool outdoor bar area. And then again, this is that terraced hillside where they've done some landscaping work. Um, the backyard is probably the best part of this house so far, but the inside really has a lot of potential too. They've got one of these round top grills out here that are super cool. Everybody I know who has one loves them, but they're like $3,000 or $4,000. Uh, Great space in this backyard, and again, you've got this buffering of plants, so it doesn't just feel like it's wall to wall concrete. Um, they've converted the garage space into kind of a pool house with coatings, but obviously this could still be used for garage duties as well. Inside the house, we've got some low ceilings in the front of the house, but then you transition into these vaulted ceilings. I think what's happened to this house since it was built is I think it's been remodeled into genericness. So your job, right? You've got the beams poking through here is to really add some of those elements back. And I think if you do that with this house, that's really going to serve you well. This eating kitchen is a little bit of a funky layout. This isn't the table I'd use. I'd have a big island in here. I'm not sure why it exists. Again, some of this decor is fairly taste specific, but again, that's what makes this home attainable. I think a person with a right vision and even a modest budget could really come through and kind of bring back some of the mid-century modern elements to this house that match that exterior and really make something special. Because if that was already done to this house, this house would be priced, well into the 1 millions. But by having one that maybe doesn't show in quite the same attractive way, that's really where you're going to save in a market like this. And we get a lot of people who say, I want an Eichler for $1.1 million. Well, even should one come up, that'd be $1.1 million, which I think those days might be gone. I don't know if you'd like the condition of the one that comes up at $1.1 million. And, there's a lot of these great houses, I think, that have a huge amount of potential lurking underneath. Great lots, big lots. And there's a lot of opportunities out there if you're just willing to kind of open your mind a little bit. And this is one of those houses. So if you'd like to see this house, we'd love to show it to you. Definitely reach out to us. We've got contact information down below here on YouTube. Questions, comments, as always, we love those. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you again real soon.